Okay, I want you to remember something right from the start here. I want you to answer a question for me and then remember that, okay? Who can you control? Can you control anyone else? So therefore, if you do something, is anyone else to blame? Let's remember that, okay? That's important, all right? I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. Okay, you're probably wondering why there's Muppets up the front here with stupid hair and whatever else it might be. Okay, when I was 7, my mum finally kicked my dad out of the house after he was punching our heads in all the time, drinking everything that we were earning that he wasn't gambling away. All right, so she kicked him out at 9. She was trying to be a single mum then. I'm sure plenty of you guys were in a similar situation with single parents, whatever it might be. Unfortunately then at 9, my mum got killed in a car accident. So that was not cool. Then I went into some guardians. Now my guardians had just started a family, a young family. They were, my cousin was 1 year old, I think, and they got my brother and I, 7 and a 9-year-old, turned up on their doorstep. They weren't really ready for it. It was a clusterfuck, all right? Wasn't cool. I didn't get on very well with them. They didn't really want us. I remember sitting there with my grandmother and my uncle talking about who had to have me, which is awesome when you're 10 and you've had both your parents die. So you're sitting there getting told, they're arguing about who has to have you. Anyhow, did my usual, moved on, kept living with them, doing all these bits and pieces there. And then they sent me to boarding school. I lived 5 kilometres from boarding school. Do you know what boarding school is? Yeah. You go and live there. Everyone else was living in the next closest one was about 90 kilometres away. I could chuck rocks at my house. Okay, and that was because they didn't want me to live with them. And they kept reminding me they didn't want me to live with them. Okay, and it doesn't feel too cool, does it, when someone's doing that to you continuously? Went to high school, asked around completely, class clown, always in trouble, always getting into shit, always fighting, carrying on, doing whatever. Was going down a bad path. But something happened. A friend of mine, I met this girl and we started hanging out together. Went to her house a few times and all sorts of stuff. And I started to notice that when there was a problem in their house, no one got punched in the head. No one got a kick in the arse. No one got yelled at. They talked to each other. They discussed things. They had adult conversations about problems in the family. And I thought that was just a mind fuck. I'd never seen that before. I didn't know how to deal with it and I wasn't sure what to do. I watched it. I didn't go very well with it, but I tried. I started learning. As that started happening, I became more rebellious at my house. And then obviously that caused more problems. Year 10 comes along. What year are you guys in? 7 and 8. Year 10 comes along. My guardian said to me that, right, you're no good, you're hopeless, you're only going to be a labourer, so we're taking you out of school so we don't waste any more money. And I went, okay, because that's what they'd always told me, and that's what I believed, okay, because that's what they bumped into my head the whole time. But my friend's parents, who I'd watched not fight and get on well, heard about this, and they said, you are too good to be a labourer. You are better than this. So they did something very cool. They went to the school behind my guardian's back and behind my back. I didn't know this was happening. And they went and saw the school and said, he's better than this. And the school said, yes, he is. But what do we do? Like his guardians have said he's going. And they said, no, we've got to do something about this. So I'm not entirely sure what happened, but the gist of it is that the school and my now foster parents, they're still my foster parents now, I'll tell you about that soon. But they went to my guardians and said, no, we're not happy with this. You are his guardians. Yes, he's in trouble, but you're not his parents. We want to give him the opportunity to do year 11, but he's got to do a level 3. Now, I don't know what the levels are here these days, but level 3 was a top level. Okay, I'd only ever done level 2, so I didn't have to do any work, and I could just ask around the whole time and sometimes pass. So, somehow, much to my guardian's disgust, they allowed me to do that. So, I got to pick a level 3, which was unusual, but I got to pick one, and I picked biology, because cutting frogs up and all that sort of shit, that's cool. I like that, that's fun. So I was doing that, and I was really trying, because some people had stuck their neck out for me and had a go. And I was trying, and I was failing my ass off, badly. I had a great teacher. I had Mrs. McDonald, little pommy chick, very cool. She came in one day after I'd had another chair throwing tantrum, like that. You having a tantrum now? Or? I see. So, I had a good tantrum, done something stupid as usual, when she came and saw me at whatever lunch or whatever it was, and she said, you don't know how to study, do you? And I said, I have no idea. I've never done it. Because I've only ever done level 2s. So, Mrs. Mack came to my house on a Saturday and spent 4 hours of her time teaching me how to study. Sat down at a table there, showed different, when I do other chats where I use whiteboard stuff, I use all different colours and I do these different things, triangle. That's what she taught me. So she did that. I went back to biology for a term 2, and at the end of the year I passed. Okay, I didn't credit or anything like that, I passed, I got through. So, the school then let me do 4 level 3s in year 12, because 5 was matriculation, that means you could go to uni if you passed all those. I didn't get it, I got 3 of those. So I got 4, so I didn't matriculate. But I was a lot bloody higher up than I was going to be as a labourer dropping out of year 10. Okay, everyone with me? Yeah. Then, I was at a friend of mine's house. One of the things I struggle with, I do a lot of chats to job seekers, teaching them how to, get jobs and how to work a bit harder. And one of the things I hate people saying, and they will say it to you sometimes, is what do you want to do for the rest of your life? I'm 46, I don't know. Okay, so don't panic, do something. But I was at a friend's place, another chick, I don't know why I was hanging out with chicks all the time, there you go. Her dad said to me in November, I turned 18 in August, in November he said, what do you want to do with your life? And I got no idea. He said, well, what are you doing next year? I've got no idea. And he said, you should apply for the cops. And we all laughed, because I'd been in trouble. I got done for setting bins on fire, fighting, stealing at that point in time. So I was going all right. Just so happens though, her dad was a superintendent of police. Okay, so he said, why don't you go for it? I put application in, I did all the tests, I did a horrific interview, which was awesome, and I got in. So I turned 18 in August, then finished school in November, had no idea what I was going to do, and then was a cop in April. Okay, so it happened fast. That's a little bit of my life. I want to ask you some questions about that. Okay, these are the questions. My foster parents, what did they give me? Yell it out. A chance. What else? Another word. Yep, they did do that. Opportunity. That's what they gave me. They gave me opportunity. Mrs. Mack, teaching me how to study. What did she give me? Opportunity. That's what she gave me. Mr. Fielding told me to join the cops, and probably helped me along, I don't know, to be honest. Didn't help me along in the frigging obstacle course, I can tell you that much. But what did he give me? Opportunity. Now, question for you. What did I do? I took it. Didn't I? That's the shit. Do you get that? You guys are surrounded at the moment with so much opportunity. You're an elite bunch, aren't you? Okay, you're here because you're good at football. You've got Mr. Wilkinson over here, who stepped out of his way, hit me up, some guy he didn't know, came and met up with me to figure out what I was like, and asked me here to talk to you. Why? Would it be because he cares? Yes. Where do you get that? I mean, how many people get someone that really cares that doesn't have to? Mr. Wilkinson, he's not going to be with you for the rest of your life. Okay, he cares about you, doesn't he? Do the other teachers, your other coaches and all that sort of stuff, how much extra do they do out of their lives for you? Not much. How much extra they do out of their lives? You'd be surprised at what they probably do. Okay, you've got coaches, you've got teachers, you've got other people. They're sitting there on the right, you look at your footy coaches for your club teams. How much are they giving you? A lot. What is it they're giving you? Opportunity. They're trying to show you a better way of doing things. Okay, they're trying to show you different ways of thinking. Mainly what I talk to people about is thinking in a different manner, looking a different direction. You can come up to a problem and you can go one way or you can go the other. Okay? One of them is going to be better than the other. You're going to pick one? They're giving you opportunity to pick one. But if you don't recognise the opportunity and you're dicking around somewhere and you're not looking hard at your future and where you want to go, what are you going to have? You're going to miss it. If I tell you something that tastes really bad when you get older, it's regret. Anyone know what regret is? Yeah. Man, looking back, look, I'm sitting here saying I've got some good ones. Oh, man, did I screw some stuff up. Like I've had some terrible things go wrong. I get called an entrepreneur sometimes, which is someone who comes up with ways of doing things differently all the time. And I had one of my foster kids the other day sit down and go, oh, what was this business? And it was one I completely failed in that she didn't know anything about. But I still got 3 going now. Okay, because there's opportunities and I took them and had a crack. Most important thing I want you to get out of your coaches is take the opportunities they're giving you. If they give you some life advice Are you going to waste it? Are you going to take it?
Yes.
So, that leads me back a little bit. What was the first thing I asked you guys when I got in? Who can you control? And who was it? So, you have got the opportunity to take what Mr. Wilkinson and all the others are giving you. What I'm giving you today. Heaps of you today will walk out and not give a shit about what I told you. Okay, because people don't. Some of you today may get a couple little snippets and go, oh yeah, I'll use that, that's cool. Some of you go, man, that was so cool. And some of you might hit me up, because you can come, if it's all right with Mr. Wilkinson, you guys can chase me up and say good day and have a talk if you want to, or see what's going on with you guys. I'll tell you about Tribe later on, but it applies to you guys. But there's all these opportunities for you to do better in your lives. You've got an opportunity through being elite at football that no one else is getting. You need to take it, don't waste it. Okay, because waste tastes bad. All right, regret is not cool. All right, anyone know, I've got a favourite word. I'm going to talk to you about this one too. Then I'm going to hit you up with some questions and I'll sort of give you there as well. Who understands what the word integrity means? If you think you do, have a stat. What's integrity? You see it all the time. You see it a lot on police badges. Okay. Integrity is one of the most important things. Yes. That's a good thing, but it's not what integrity is. But good effort. Thank you very much.
Who you are behind other people's backs.
Yeah, brother. That's sexy. Good work. That's cool. Okay. Integrity is about the honesty in you. My missus is a little kung fu panda. She does taekwondo. All right. So, and they do a lot of stuff, you know, with talking more about, you know, life as opposed to just going and getting bags and doing whatever. But she describes integrity as what you do, doing the right thing when no one's looking. Doing the right thing when no one's looking. You have no chance of getting caught doing something wrong. Okay? Do you do the right thing or do you do the wrong thing? It's going to be up to you. I won't be there. I won't know. Only you will know. Okay? I describe it a little bit different. I've always described it as do unto others and be true to yourself. Okay, so the thing, I'm not a religious guide or all that, but in the Bible there's do unto others as you would have done unto you. That means treat others like you'd like to be treated. And the other one is be true to yourself. Now that's that little thing I was talking about there. When you lie, when you bullshit, who knows? You always know, don't you? Does it feel good? But funnily enough, if you do it enough and you get away with enough, you'll ignore it. And you keep doing it. But what does that mean you lack?
Integrity.
You lack integrity, don't you? And that's yours. That's such a special thing. Okay, you own that for the rest of your life, like a little diamond inside you. Okay, that you know if it's shit, you know if you're doing it wrong, you know if you're treating someone bad on the field, you know if you're treating some kid in the playground badly. Okay, you know that. You want to have clean, tidy integrity. You need that in your lives. You want that to be in your soul. Okay, can you do that? Because this is an opportunity, isn't it? If you've been screwing up, and I'm not asking for any volunteers and who's done what wrong, okay? But if you're here in your life and you've done bad stuff before here, what's tomorrow? Another day. You've got every chance in the world to change whatever you're doing. This is an opportunity for you to do that. Okay? If you're doing great already, keep doing great. But I'll ask you this. In your football, for instance, are you doing everything you can do to be the best player you can be? Truth, integrity, you're talking to yourselves, not me. Are you doing everything you can do? Who's not doing their best at training? Hands up if sometimes you don't. Who's not trying their best at schoolwork? Okay, that'll hurt you. Okay, because I used to train real estate agents and it was so funny. When you're a real estate agent, you've got to go out and you've got to get listings. So you've got to go and get people to work for you. And I used to get these guys coming and go, oh, Ryan, I can't get the listing. And I say, have you done everything you can do? And I said, oh, yeah. I said, did you ring them today? Nah. Did you knock on their door? Nah. Did you send them a letter? Nah. Well, have you done anything you do? Nah. Well, go and freaking do it. It's that simple, isn't it? Go and freaking do it. If you're not doing everything you can do and you are failing and it's not going the way you want it to go, you're not going as well in footy or you're not going as well at maths or whatever else it might be, who is responsible for that? That's it. Don't be blaming anyone else. Can you do something about it?
Yes.
Well, you can do it. That's for you to answer. Are you going to do it? If you walk out of here and you think things could be better in your lives, your schoolwork, your football, at home, whatever it might be, and you do nothing, what do you lack? Integrity. Okay? Keep your integrity shiny. Okay, it's really important to you. One day you're going to sit there and just love it. Alright? So that's about all I've got to press slam down your throat today, okay? Right now. But, you got any questions about anything I've said? Do you disagree with anything I've said? Because you're allowed. Come on. Questions, comments, abuse? What do you got? Alright, does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you feel like it's worth doing?
Yes.
Show me. What if I came back in a few weeks and had another talk to you and you get to tell me what you've done differently? Look at it, Alright, Mr. Wilkinson, is there anything else you think I should cover?
Both these groups are probably focusing a lot on fitness at the moment, training. You got any sort of tips on when things are tough, how do they make sure they keep giving their best, and how do they not take that short?
I'm more to tell you about fitness, right? Okay, there's a saying, and no one's real sure who said it, but it's a very important saying. And I put it in my life most of the time. And what it is, it's if you're going through hell, keep going. Does that make sense? If you're in a shit spot, don't stop. Don't sit there and go, oh no, I'm going to give it up now. Keep going. Keep moving. I'm a fat git, right? I do not enjoy running and I never have. But I set myself a challenge. I set myself a challenge about 7 or 8 years ago. You know what the Sydney to Surf run is? Okay, for those that don't, it's a run in Sydney that's about 14 kilometres and it goes from the city to Bondi Beach. And it's like that. There's just hill after hill after hill after hill. Anyway, I said I'd do it. A mate of mine said, who was super fit, said, come on, you can do it, you can do it. I said, right, I'll do it. Thinking, why am I so used to this? Anyway, so I trained, did little bits and pieces, did my best for it, got as ready as I could be. You got it right? Hand down. Then I got as fit as I could be, did all I could. Then, on the day, I took off. Now, my mate, I'd said I'd do it under 2 hours, and he said, no, hour 50. That's what you do. So, I went there and my whole game at that point in time was to keep going. Don't stop. If you stop, you die. If I started walking up one of those hills, I would have just walked. And that's it. So I had to keep going. And it was a shuffle. Like, I hate it. Money guys that might like running. I don't know, but man, it ain't my thing, I can tell you. But I kept going, kept going, kept going, kept going. I got there, I didn't stop running the whole time, and I did it in an hour and 45. And when I hit the finish line, I was bawling like a bitch. Crying. It's all on film, it's great. Why was I doing that? 2 reasons, but what was the major one? First, yeah, it hurt. That was one of them, big time. I went to the hospital 3 days later because I thought I'd broken my feet, but I just had bruising. So yeah.
Because you reached your goal?
So happy. So happy, and I could have stopped so many times. And now, no one ever in my life could take that off me. I did that. No one can ever say. I love that shit. I bought a motorbike in Busselton in WA. I bought it purposely in Busselton, WA because I wanted to ride across the Nile. It was long and it was boring. But I did it, and it was cool. And every time I see the weather now, I look at that and I go, did that. Those things make you proud. Did it hurt? Yes. Was it worth it? Hell yes. So there's not much in life that's worth getting without some pain. If you get it for free, is it worth anything? It's just not. Now that's why when people get handouts and all that sort of stuff, they waste it. You hear these guys that win lotto, and 2 years later they're broke. It's because it wasn't worth anything to them. They never worked for it. If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're not fit enough, you've got some weight on, whatever the case might be, keep going. Imagine how good you're going to feel when you get there. Next. All right.
Ben, this is the place I've seen you.
All right. I'm going to do a deal with you guys if you want. Okay. Just so you know too, all 3 of my kids went to Redcliffe High. Okay. Lainey Elson was daughter, and I had Zach and Jake. You guys are probably too young, but Lainey used to be sports champion and all sorts of stuff. God knows why. Ran her mouth off a lot though. But I have an affinity with Redcliffe High. I don't live too far away. I would like to be a part of your journey if you'd like me to be. Okay, so with permission, and I'll talk to Mr. Wilkinson about this, I would like to come and see you in a month or whatever it might be, whatever we decide. I don't know what timing's at. I want to hear how you're doing. I want to hear, do this for me. I want to hear one shit thing that you do that you are going to change. If it is speaking back to your mum, stop doing it. If it's being lazy at training, stop doing it. Okay? If it's lying about something, stop doing it. I dare you. Do it for me, but you'll find out it's doing it for you. So, can everyone come back and tell me something cool they did? Promise? Integrity, remember? Don't say it if you're not going to do it. Alright, thanks boys. Appreciate the chat. I'll leave you guys at peace for a while now. Thanks,